Joining me today in the studio to discuss the game is Alex Kirkland. Hello,
Good
Alex.
to be here.
Great to see you. It's Santiago Solari's first La Liga game at the helm of Real Madrid, and the Whites will be looking to build on the fantastic performance they put in on Wednesday when they sealed a 4-0 win to kick off their Copa del Rey campaign, Alex.
Yeah, it was exactly what Santi Solari would have wanted to see from that game. The team played with character, with determination in not the easiest circumstances. The weather wasn't great, the pitch wasn't great either. It's never easy away from home in the Cup. They got the win, they scored goals, they gave a bit of optimism back to the fans, and now it's up to the team to carry that performance into the league today. And
Valladolid are heading into the clash at the Santiago Bernabéu on a great run of form. The team have returned to the top flight only this season, and they've surpassed all expectations. They are 6th in the table and currently in the European spots.
It's been absolutely incredible. They haven't lost since mid-September. They actually started quite slowly, but they've really turned it around. I think they're 7 games unbeaten in League and Cup. They're going really well. As you say, they're in the Europa League places at the moment, and that's beyond what would have been their wildest dreams at the start of the season.
Well, no doubt about it. There's plenty to look forward to in today's match, but for now, Madridistas are looking forward to finding out how the team will line up for their first La Liga match under Santiago Solari. So why don't we head over to the Santiago Bernabéu and hear from our colleague Phil Kitramelidis, who's got the starting lineups for us. Hello, Phil.
Hello, Karina. Good afternoon from a very sunny Santiago Bernabéu. It is a beautiful afternoon in the Spanish capital. It's also a bank holiday weekend here in Madrid, so we're expecting a really good crowd here in the stadium. Let's give you that team news then. 6 changes from the side that won in Melilla in the Copa del Rey. Thibaut Courtois returning in goal. Across the back four, Álvaro Odriozola, Sergio Ramos, Nacho and Reguilón. In the midfield, Casemiro, Kroos and Modric. And up front, Benzema, Bale and Marco Asensio. In terms of our opponents today, Valladolid, they are flying high in the table in 6th place, but they've only scored 9 goals all season. Their top scorer is the Turkish striker Enes Ünal. He scored twice in La Liga so far this season, and he leads the line for Valladolid this afternoon.
Well, thank you very much, Phil. We'll talk to you in a bit. Well, now let's take a closer look at Real Madrid's starting 11. Alex, as Phil said, 6 changes to the team that started against Melilla. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no big surprises really in terms of Santi Solari's first league team selection. Starting from the back, we expected Thibaut Courtois to start in goal today, and he does. In terms of the back four, some first league minutes of the season for Reguilón at left back, having impressed in the Champions League and in the Cup as well. Otherwise, no real selection dilemmas for Solari because 1 or 2 injuries at the back. Midfield, a familiar look there with Casemiro, Modric and Kroos. In terms of the front 3, the only question mark really was who would partner Bale and Benzema. Would it be Asensio? Would it be Isco? Would it even be Vinicius Jr., who was really impressive in the Cup and got a couple of assists? Solari's gone for Asensio, as you can see there, but he does have Isco and Vinicius Jr. to call upon if required on the bench.
And it's great to see Álvaro Odriozola starting today again. On Wednesday, he put in a fantastic performance, particularly good attacking down the right.
Oh, he was amazing. He's a super player, and he's really taking advantage of the absence of Dani Carvajal, and he wants to make it difficult for Solari to leave him out when Carvajal comes back.
Well, now let's take a look at Valladolid's starting 11. The visitors have the best defensive record away from home in La Liga, as they conceded only in 1 of the 5 matches they played away from home. Alex, how do you think Real Madrid can break them down?
Yeah, it's a 4-4-2. It's a very tight, compact 4-4-2, and I think it'll be a familiar story, the kind of game that we've seen time and time again at the Bernabéu, which is Real Valladolid seating very deep, not looking to get forward too much at all. The occasional long ball up for Leo Suarez and Enes Ünal, and otherwise be happy with what they've got and look to defend what they've got. Valladolid would see coming away from the Bernabéu with a point as a good result.
So we already know Santiago Solari's starting lineup for his first La Liga game at the Santiago Bernabéu. And speaking of Santiago Solari, our colleague Alex Aljo caught up with the manager yesterday at Ciudad Real Madrid, and here is what he told her.
It's been a good week so far. Are you pleased with how things have gone?
Well, of course, yes, they are great professionals, and this is a team built with many fantastic players and warriors that have won so many things for Real Madrid that made us dream a lot, and they fulfilled those dreams, and we are very happy to be with them now, and we have a fantastic game tomorrow. So.
And how will you and the players build on Wednesday's performance to ensure 3 points on Saturday?
We need to play with all con alegría, no? How would you translate that with happiness and be very aggressive as well and to play a strict game and very serious and we want all the Madridistas to join us and to help to support us. Everybody that comes to the Bernabéu, we want to hear them help us win this game as well.
And you've played so many times at the Bernabéu, and now you're about to see the game from a very different perspective.
Yes, it's very difficult to see it from there because you don't get to run, and it's much easier to play, really. I miss that, but now I'm in a different position, and that's what I have to do. That's my job.
Santiago Solari speaking there, such a positive guy. You can tell he wouldn't mind stepping out on the pitch today and playing himself, and he certainly looks the part.
He's a very impressive character, isn't he? He's incredibly charismatic. He's the kind of guy who, when he talks about football, you want to listen. He's very eloquent, both in English and in Spanish, as we heard there. He's got the respect of the players. He's a club man. He's been at Real Madrid, working with the academy since 2013, so he's been around the place. He knows the first-team squad. They know him, and the early signs are very good.
Well, excitement and optimism are in the air ahead of Santiago Solari's first La Liga game and first home game, of course. Speaking of which, let's cross back over to the Santiago Bernabéu and hear from Alex Alger, who's been speaking to the fans, whose support will be crucial today. Hello, Alex.
Yes, Santiago Solari requested the support of the home fans this afternoon, and they've certainly responded. They've come out in full force, and they've come from all over the world. Where have you travelled from today?
Hi, we're from Holland, and we can't wait to see Real Madrid playing because the atmosphere already inside the metro was okay. The fans were singing, so we can't wait to go inside the stadium and to see the full force of Real Madrid playing.
And how do you feel to be at the stadium for the very first time?
Very excited. It's a big club, big stadium. I can't wait to see the inside of the stadium, so I'm very excited.
And the last time Valladolid visited, Gareth Bale scored a hat-trick. I believe you're both big fans of the Welshman.
That's why we're
Turn around, as you can see. Yeah. Two big Gareth Bale fans here. What makes him such a great player?
Yeah, it's really his speed, his technique, how he's on the field. He always scores a goal. You're just an awesome player. Really awesome.
Yeah, it's the speed, it's the technique, and always able to score a goal on his own or give a good pass or a good front kick. So, very excited.
And there's still a long way to go this season. What do you hope to see Real Madrid win by the end of the season?
I hope to see them win LaLiga, of course. And there are a lot of matches to go, so they can still pick it up, get up the level again, and score some goals.
And finally, a score prediction for this afternoon's game.
I hope for a 4-0, so 4 goals at least. Maybe some from Bale then as well. At least 4 goals, yeah.
For me, it's 3-1, 3 goals of Gareth Bale again.
Let's see the hat-trick again. I would like to see that.
Thank you very much. Optimistic Madridistas here, expecting a hat-trick for Gareth Bale and a convincing win for Real Madrid.
Thank you very much, Alex. Madridistas feeling hopeful and confident Gareth Bale will make an impact today. Alex, how decisive do you think the Welshman will be today?
He's a leader in this team. He's a key man. He leads by example, as the fans were saying there. He's an impact player. He pops up, he scores goals. He can score all kinds of goals as well, as we've seen over the last few seasons, whether it's from long range, from inside the area, with his head. He has an important role to play, there's no doubt. And Solari was talking about Bale in his pre-match press conference, saying, look, he's fantastic. He's a leader in this team, and I think he's going to be important today.
Well, there's 30 minutes to go now until kickoff, so let's continue with the pre-match build-up and head back over to the Santiago Bernabéu, where we have our colleagues Phil Kitromilidis and Fred Hermel pitchside. Hello again, Phil.
Yes, hello, Karina. We are pitchside. Fred Hermel joins me. It is, as we said, a beautiful day here. Really looking forward to this game. There's a nice atmosphere here today, Fred, isn't there?
Hello, Phil.
Hello,
everybody. I like the stadium. Yeah, it's nice. And it's true that it's nice to see Valladolid coming back to the first division, because it's like, in train, it's like 1 hour, in the fast train, like 1 hour to Madrid. And we will have a lot of fans of Valladolid, but a lot of fans of province, different province region of Spain. Because, for example, I have a Peña, it's a supporter group from Murcia with my name, yes. It's my honor, and they came like 40 people from Murcia. lot of atmosphere, a lot of big fans who want to push Real Madrid today. It's a perfect day to have a great victory.
Yes, we were looking at the away section with the Valladolid fans are. It's similar to an away section you get in the Champions League, actually. There are a lot of Valladolid fans who have made the short trip to the Bernabéu today to see their side. Valladolid have been in good form. They'll be looking to try and take advantage of that and get a good result here against Real Madrid. But we saw Real Madrid bounce back midweek against Melilla. They played well against Melilla. They are only aside from the third tier of Spanish football, from the Segunda B, but they still had to go out, they still had to put in a good performance, didn't they?
It was very important after the bad day in Barcelona. It was very important to have another game to recover before coming back here.
Yes.
You know, because the last game people have in mind, it's a 4-0 victory of Real Madrid.
Yes.
With a lot of good football, with nice sensation. For example, Odriozola is in start 11 today, made an amazing game with 2 assists and 1 goal. Vinicius is on the bench, but I'm sure that we will see him in the second part. You know, we have good news from Melilla. Sometimes you need a great victory to come back to your normality, and the normality of Real Madrid is winning games.
Yes, and the normality for Real Madrid is winning games at home against Valladolid. They've won against Valladolid in this stadium in each of the last 7 matches they've played. As we were hearing a little bit earlier on, the last time they played here, Real Madrid won 4-0, a hat-trick from Gareth Bale and another goal from Karim Benzema. We heard the fans that Alex Aljo was talking to predicting a 4-0 victory for Real Madrid. Let's see if that's possible, because Valladolid have been strong defensively so far this season. In fact, away from home, no team has conceded fewer goals than Valladolid, just 3 goals all season.
To tell the truth, last time Valladolid was in the first division, the gap between the big teams and the small teams was bigger.
Yes.
This season it's clear that all the teams are very competitive, and you know, 4-0 would be nice, but it will not be easy, really, because I know 5 years ago winning 4-0 for Real Madrid was normal. Not anymore. You know, Liga is very competitive, and Valladolid is it's a structured team with a good coach, Sergio, very well organized. So Real Madrid, you know, first of all, a victory without suffering, it will be nice.
Yes, that is true. 3 points absolutely vital for Real Madrid today to continue that positive momentum after the victory against Melilla, and also, of course, to keep up in the title race. There's still a long way to go. There were 84 points left to play in LaLiga so far this season. 84 points left. It's not over. It's been a difficult start for Real Madrid, but it's not over. And I think the players have to believe that. The fans have to believe that. There's still a long way to go. A lot of football to be played.
Yeah, and I think it's more easy to believe in this because of what I said before, because of the competitive of the Liga. You know, all the teams who are now on the table before Real Madrid will lose points, and more points than ever. So Real Madrid has lost yet few points. It's enough. The other it's a turn to the other to lose points.
It's true. If you're going to have a slight dip in form in the season, it's better to have it at the start of the season,
for sure,
when you've got a lot of time to make up. So that's hopefully what's happened for Real Madrid. Hopefully we're going to see them get back to winning ways today against this Valladolid side. Obviously, it's the first game in charge here for Santiago Solari. He was a famous player in this stadium, was here for 5 years, won the league twice, won the European Cup with Real Madrid as well. You remember him, Freddie, as a player here.
I'm a whole journalist. I was there when he was a player. Very good journalist, yes. But first of all, very good player. He was close to Zidane, more or less.
Similar position.
Same position. So I remember one day Solari said, my problem was to be in the same team as Zidane, and my happiness was to be in the same teams as Zidane too.
Yes.
But you know, he was in the team what we call the Galacticos. The Galactics.
Yes.
He was not in always in the start 11, but he was very useful for this team. Very good player and very good man, very clever.
And he also, as Alex Kirkland was saying in the studio, he knows this club very well. He's been a member of the youth academy, training in the youth academy for the last 5.5 years. He was with the under-15s, under-16s, under-18s, and then with Real Madrid Castilla. So he knows how things work here, which is very important.
There is something logical to see him on the bench now.
Yes, it's true.
Growing up.
The progression,
you know, and he knows perfectly what is his club, and I'm sure that, you know, he was in the team of the Galacticos. So when you're a coach, when you're your new coach, the first things that you need is to seduce the player, to make you respect from the player. With Solari in the dressing room, the respect is obvious.
They do. They respect him. I think they like him as well. There's a good affinity between the players and Solari. So let's see how they get on today in his first match in charge in this stadium. As we said, it is a bank holiday weekend in Madrid. So we're expecting a lot of fans to make the trip to the Santiago Bernabéu. As we said, there are thousands of Valladolid fans, which should contribute to a very good atmosphere here. And that's what we want. We want a good atmosphere. And we want, as Santiago Solari said in that interview, alegría. We want happiness. Since he was appointed, he's been smiling a lot. He's been trying to bring back that happiness to Real Madrid. The best way to do that, of course, is to win matches and to play well and to score goals. And that's the best way to bring the happiness back.
And to score the first goal.
Yes.
You know, it's very important not to...
not to get nervous.
No, yeah, because the fans don't want to suffer, you know. And it's true that since the beginning of the season, we had a lot of occasion to suffer with this team because of the bad luck, because of bad games too. That's why a goal in the first 20-25 minutes, just to make everybody relax, would be fine.
Yes. Let's see as well what kind of formation Santiago Solari plays with Real Madrid's first team, because at Real Madrid Castilla, he often played a 4-2-3-1, and we saw something similar like that against Melilla in midweek in the Copa del Rey, with Dani Ceballos and Marcos Llorente playing as the two holding midfielders, and then three players ahead of him and Karim Benzema up front. Presumably today it's going to be more 4-3-3, do we think, with Casemiro, Kroos and Modric, and Asensio, Bale and Benzema as the three, or maybe we could see Asensio with a bit of a free role behind the front two?
Asensio played just behind Karim Benzema.
Yes.
In Melilla. I like this position of Asensio because we know how he's good when he has to shoot.
I think he likes it as well.
He likes it. He likes it because with a player with a, he's shooting so well. So if you put him in a position that he can be 90% of the time just in front of the goal, can be very useful. Let's see, because what we call in Spanish doble pivote.
Yes.
Double recuperation.
Double pivot,
play. Yeah. Double pivot. Are you saying in English? Double pivot. It was not bad in Melilla. We'll see. It will be one of the secrets of Solari to discover today. So it will be very interesting. This game will be interesting for a lot of things.
The first goal scored under Santiago Solari was scored by Karim Benzema, who's moved on to 7 goals in all competitions so far this season. He's scored in every competition that Real Madrid have played, in the UEFA Super Cup, in the Champions League, in LaLiga and in the Copa del Rey, picking up those goals. Again against Melilla, it was a real number 9's goal, wasn't it? He was in the 6-yard box in the right place at the right time.
But he's a bad striker.
Well,
he's bad. People say. I don't want to talk about a player who's not here anymore. But everybody says that. Oh, wonderful Cristiano Ronaldo. He scored 7 goals since the beginning of the season in Juventus. You know how many goals scored Karim Benzema in Real Madrid this season?
Well, 7.
7.
Yes.
Okay. Not bad, no?
Not bad at all, yes. Hopefully he can continue to score and score in all the different competitions as well. That is important for him. I mean, you know him very well, and we've heard him speak this season, and he's been asked about the pressure. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo has left, so the pressure is on Benzema to score more goals. And he says, yeah, I know. I put the pressure on myself. I know I have to score more goals. That's my job. I have to do that.
And he changed the way he plays. He told me. After I had a big debate about football with him after the last game of Champions League against Victoria Pilsen, and he said, I know that the expectation is different this season. More or less, last year, on the last 9 season, when he had the ball, he was looking for Cristiano Ronaldo, because his role, his mission was to give the ball, to give assist to Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, he looks at the goal. You know, he wants to score more, because it's not because before he was not able to do it. It's because he had another mission. Now it's different.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see if Karim Benzema gets on the score sheet today. Of course, as we said, he did manage to score against Valladolid the last time these two sides played in this stadium. Back in 2013, Real Madrid winning by 4-0. That hat-trick from Gareth Bale. Let's see if he gets on the score sheet again. Looking forward to seeing him get back to action. He didn't travel to Melilla in midweek. He was one of a number of players who stayed behind in the Spanish capital, which is obviously to be expected. It's the Copa del Rey. We've got a lot of games coming up as well. Indeed, midweek, we're travelling to the Czech Republic to take on Viktoria Pilsen in the Champions League, which is a game we need to win. We're in a good position in the Champions League, but we need to keep picking up those victories, and then away at Celta Vigo after that as well, before another international break. So it's another busy week for Real Madrid. The games every 3 days, which is why the squad is important.
As always. That's why I think Sarri made a great job, great decision when he did a little mix with in Melilla in the first part, Ramos and Karim Benzema. Yes. And in the second part, it was 2-0 in favor of Real Madrid. So second part, they rest a little bit. You know, it's very important to manage this. It was important for him to find the good solution between being competitive and make player rest, and he did well because we won 4-0.
It was also great to see Sergio Ramos travelling there because he wanted to go to Melilla. He's the captain. He wanted to lead the side. The first game under Solari.
Exactly.
Difficult moment.
And two things, because it was the first game with Solari, and because it was the first time that Real Madrid played again in Melilla. You know, it's a small part of it's like a city in North Africa, Spanish city in North Africa. There is a lot of Madridistas there.
A lot of Madridistas, yes.
The captain wanted to be here to represent the club, say, I respect you as a Madridista. I want to be here to see you. I think it was important because it was the first game of Solari and because it was the first game of Real Madrid in Melilla.
Yes, certainly a nice touch from Sergio Ramos, who played those first 45 minutes in that 4-0 victory against Melilla. So Valladolid, our opponents today, flying high in the table in 6th position, doing much better than I think anybody would have expected. Of course, they only got promoted in the summer through the Segunda División playoffs. They finished 6th in the table in the Segunda, but they managed to make it through to the Primera División, and they're doing better than anybody would have expected. They're unbeaten in 7 matches in all competitions. They won their Copa del Rey game in midweek away at Mallorca as well. So they're coming here full of confidence and with nothing to lose as well. Nobody's necessarily expecting Valladolid to get anything out of this game, but given that there's no pressure on them, given that they're also in very good form, they're very organised as well, this is a dangerous game for Real Madrid, and they have to focus 100%.
For them, there is no pressure. It's only no pressure, only pleasure. Because, the purpose, the objective of Valladolid this season is not to play Europa League or Champions League. It's to stay in 1st division.
Yes.
So, when you want to stay in 1st division, you don't need to win in Bernabéu. This is not necessary. You're just here to enjoy. And I think a team is more dangerous when the team has nothing to lose. It can be a trap. That's why the players are very focused. I was just seeing the warm-up, and the players are smiling.
Yeah, not too much.
Not too much. They are really focused on the ball, preparing the game, because they know that today we will have 80,000 people fighting for Real Madrid. A lot of people came from different parts of Spain, so they need to show to the people that this team is better than a few weeks ago, that this team can do a lot of things this season.
Yes.
So it's an important day today, really.
Yes, it is. It is an important day, as we said. Santiago Solari's first match in charge in La Liga. In this stadium, the manager has asked for the players to play with happiness, to enjoy themselves out on the pitch, and that is key, because these are such talented players, such good players. If they enjoy themselves and they express themselves out on the pitch, they'll win most matches.
You can't play well if you're not happy. You need to be concentrated, and during the warm-up you can see the faces of concentrated players. But if you enjoy on the pitch, first of all, you play better, and you will share this happiness with the fans. The connection will be better.
Yes. So Valladolid coming here, as you said, unbeaten in 7 matches. They've kept clean sheets in 4 of the 5 matches they've played away from home this season. It is going to be tough to break them down, but if Real Madrid can get an early goal here, just dissipate some of the nerves, maybe we can see another big victory here for Real Madrid this afternoon. Before we hand back to the studio, Freddie, your score predictions. We heard from some fans outside the stadium. They were predicting a 4-0 victory. That's quite optimistic. Maybe a bit more cautious.
No, I think a 2-0 would be nice. First of all, a goal is the first part, not to be nervous.
Yes. OK, so Freddie's predicting a 2-0 victory for Real Madrid here this afternoon against Valladolid. Let's see how the game develops. We're going to hand back to you in the studio now, but remember, we'll be back here live after the game for post-match analysis, so join us.
Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the game. Well, Santiago Solari is coming at a difficult moment, of course, but as Phil and Fred have mentioned, he is coming with a smile on his face and with a very positive attitude, an attitude that's very important to help turn the situation around, Alex.
I think he's a really safe pair of hands. He's got a lot of experience, as we've been saying. He's got a lot of experience as a coach. He's been with Castilla. This was his third season with Castilla. Before that, he was coaching the younger teams in the Cantera. He's been there and done it as a player. Phil was listing the trophies that he won as a Real Madrid player. So he's a really effective candidate, I think, in this kind of situation. And he's so calm. He gives the impression that nothing bothers him, nothing phases him, whatever the situation. I think that's the kind of guy that you want in charge at a time like this.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Well, this season, goals are being shared around. 10 different Madridistas have already got their names on the score sheet, and Santiago Solari will hope this list will keep growing.
Yeah, I think that's a positive thing as well, to share the goals around the team, because it means that there's not one player that the opposition have to keep an eye on. As the guys were saying, Karim Benzema having a good season, scoring a number of goals. We know that Gareth Bale is dangerous, Asensio as well. Pretty much all the midfield can chip in. The same goes for the defenders. So I always view it as a positive to have a variety of goal-scoring options around the team. This Real Madrid team in recent years has been a team that's been dangerous from set pieces, from free kicks, from corners. You've got players who can score from distance. You've got penalty box predators as well. Even with the absence of people like Mariano Diaz, who's out with an injury at the moment, for example, there are a lot of goals in this team.
Well, as always, Madridistas have been sending us in tweets with their score predictions from all over the world. So let's take a look at some of them. The first message comes from Puerto Rico, and Gabi says Real Madrid will beat Valladolid 3-1. Maulana Rido from Jakarta also thinks Real Madrid will score 3 goals. Following Real Madrid's 4-0 win over Melilla, Krishna from India hopes to see another goal fest and predicts another 4-0 victory. Real Madrid 4, Valladolid 1, says Joel Zakaria from Malaysia. And finally, Alexander from Gosport UK also expects Real Madrid to score 4 goals. So Madridistas are expecting a victory and another goal fest following their fantastic performance on Wednesday against Melilla. Well, now let's take a look at all the match day 11 fixtures. And the first game of match day 11 has already been played, as Leganés drew 1-1 with Atletico Madrid. The game in question, Real Madrid versus Valladolid, is about to kick off at the Santiago Bernabéu. Valencia then take on Girona at Mestalla at 6:30. And the last game on Saturday is between Rayo Vallecano and Barcelona, taking place here in Madrid at 8:45. The first match on Sunday kicks off at 12 p.m. as Eibar entertain Alaves at Ipurua. Villarreal then host Levante at 4:15. Real Sociedad face Sevilla at 6:30 at Anoeta. At the same time, Huesca welcome Getafe, with Betis and Celta rounding things off on Sunday at 8:45 Central European Time at the Benita Villamarin. The last match day 11 game will be played on Monday at 9 p.m. and it's Espanyol at home to Athletic. So these are all your match day 11 fixtures, but the game we are concerned about is, of course, Real Madrid versus Valladolid. So, Alex, before we go, the last question. Your score prediction?
I would tend to agree with Freddie. Maybe it'll be a little bit tighter than some of our fan contributors were suggesting, but I do think Real Madrid will get the win. I'd go for a 2-0, and I will also go for Gareth Bale to get on the score sheet.
Well, thank you very much, Alex. We'll see what happens. That's all we had time for on this edition of The Match. Thanks for watching, whether it was on Real Madrid TV, Real Madrid app, Facebook or YouTube. Don't forget that you can join us right after the match on Real Madrid TV for the post-match review show. We'll see you then. But for now, from Alex and myself, it's adios.